Hey guys, living the American dream now is going to be impossible, or getting impossible, for a majority of middle class Americans. Why? Well, housing. Once you can't afford housing, once you can't get into housing, once incomes are not tied to mortgages and housing prices, you have yourself an issue. Let's take a look at what's happening to America and what's happening with their major housing crisis. Well, we're going across our channel time machine here on the channel here, and we've been doing videos for over 10 years, warning people of the upcoming gloom and doom, especially in the housing and real estate markets. Amerifornia meaning a year ago, a lot of people was like, what does that mean? My house makes me $781 per hour. That's in Canada, but that's coming to America. American housing to increase 40 to 100% in price by 2021. Amerifornia and in housing market. Yeah, it's here. Amerifornia, 40 to 100% increase in the next 12 months. Watch this with your new president-elect. USA has joined the ranks of Canada, Australia, and the UK and New Zealand. So what was so special about UK, New Zealand, and all the blue states and all that? They were money laundering. They were competing for money launderers and placing money, illegal money, made through fentanyl sales and all kinds of crap that came in from China. Wake up, America. Amerifornia is here. 10 months ago. Chinese buying up USA and Canada. So, here's my opinion. My opinion, it's your turn, America. Now that the new liberal president-elect American just joined the club with China, New Zealand, Australia, and the UK, we do not offer investment advice. So it goes a war against the middle class. Amerifornia going strong for 1 year. So what is Amerifornia? Basically, Amerifornia is America turning into California.
A viewer wants to know
Whoa.
if the Metro Atlanta real estate market is cooling off. I don't think so.
Okay, well, that's the Metro Atlanta market. Is it cooling off? No, it's not. So we're going to get into Amerifornia real quick here. Amerifornia is just basically America turning entirely into California. I live in California. There's Australifornia, New Zealandfornia. All these countries are way ahead of the blue states in America. Way ahead of the red states in America. So America's going to turn into California, basically, with the unemployment, homelessness, fentanyl overdoses, and basically neglect of the middle class or mass exodus of those states. So let's take a look at what's happening here. So let's go across American news today. What's happening? Well, here it is. Global Property Guide has stated that the U.S. house price boom continues strong despite the pandemic. The housing boom in the U.S. continues unabated after 8 years of strong house price growth. You see, what they're doing is they're taking the benchmark property prices from places like the blue states, like California, New York, and Oregon, and Washington State. They're taking those and putting them through a benchmark of all of America, right? Because 8 years ago, you could still buy in most parts of America where your wages are tied to your housing value, right? So wages are tied to your mortgage. Wages are tied to your housing value, not money laundering, right? It has been buoyed by continued low interest rates and by the government's massive stimulus package to cushion the impact of the pandemic. Again, they're going to blame this sickness. A limited supply of properties in the market had added to upward house price pressure. Dallas-Fort Worth led to 2021's record-breaking Texas housing market. So there it is right there, record-breaking. And we said rural parts of America are going to be up 40 to 100% with the new president-elect, and I got a lot of hate mail on that. Demand and affordability pressures are expected to cool this year with higher mortgage rates. So they're going to raise rates to try to curb inflation, right? The number of home sales and the median home price statewide hit record-breaking highs in 2021 with Dallas-Fort Worth agents leading the state in sales. Raising interest rates is all fine and dandy, but what happens if you get an Amerifornian from California, a true blue, going to Texas, sells his house in California for $2.6 million, that's realistically worth $90,000 in Alabama, goes over to Texas, and he buys 6-7 homes with that money, 10 homes with that money. So Amerifornia is very tricky because it's more of the mass exodus people that were bought out from money launderers in their state because their legislation was open for money laundering. Look what happened to Seattle 5 years ago when Vancouver put the foreign buyers tax. Vancouver, Canada put the foreign buyers tax. All the investors from Vancouver went down to Seattle and the other went to Toronto. Look at those two cities today. So there it is. The state saw 416,853 sales, up 6.2% from last year. Are Americans having more kids? No, they're not. It's people moving out of the blue states into the red states. From 2020, more than a quarter of 2021's sales statewide were in the DFW area, with local real estate agents selling 112,000 homes. The region's number of homes sales stayed relatively flat for 2020 to 2021, dipping slightly 0.2%. The number of Austin sales increased 2.7%. San Antonio rose by 4.7%. Will Atlanta housing market cool off soon? This is the video we're hearing here earlier.
It's going to get worse.
There you go. It's going to get worse because I'm telling you it's going to get worse, and I've been telling you it's going to get worse for a long time now. Atlanta, buying a home in Atlanta has not been so easy in recent months. So our team went to the experts to verify. You don't have to go to the experts. You could go right here, and I could have told you that already years ago. Which Florida housing markets are seeing the biggest price increases? Well, there's more and more places. Florida seeing gains. Look, 10% gains, 32.5% up. The city with the biggest increase on their last was Phoenix, which has now joined the ranks of the blue states. Arizona, where average home prices shot up 32.5% last year over 2020. So there it is right there. We even said it here. 2021 Amerifornia is raging across America, and bidding wars across America 11 months ago during a pandemic too. American Housing Explained, 38,000 per month. American Housing, Texas housing market. A Biden win. Say hello to Amerifornia. So there it is right there. We talk about it on our show. We've been talking about it for so long on our show. All right, let's keep going here. So it's getting harder to buy homes in affordable areas of America. Why? Because income isn't tied to housing prices or housing values. No more. Oh, but I make this much money. I should be able to afford a home. Your income no longer regulates what kind of home you could afford anymore. Most people just can't afford a home, period. And that's why Americans are going to be, that's why the American dream is dying, and more Americans are going to have a really tough time, jumping into the markets or catching this tsunami. So here it is. So for Americans watching, pay attention. Toronto real estate prices rose $80,000 last month, and sellers are going up. So more people are selling on the market, but look at that. Prices go up $80,000 in a month. You could buy a house in Alabama for $80,000 and what real estate prices rose. Canada would be in a recession without money laundering. Canada wants more Chinese. So while Canada was deporting scores of Portuguese, Hungarian, Polish immigrants, Ukrainian immigrants, basically Canada was competing because they have more money. The biggest market in the world, and they spend money, $500,000 per year. When you have to prop your GDP or your country's GDP by bringing in money, so Canada. I'm sorry to say this to Australia, New Zealand, and the UK, and the blue states of America. Canada won. Canada, with our Justin Trudeau, won the money laundering wars. We are going really good with the money laundering wars because Canada is the best at luring millionaires to come in and park their money here because they won't be questioned on where they got their money from. Our money laundering investigation task force got shut down when they realized how many hundreds of thousands of people of Chinese descent will end up in jail for breaking money laundering breach codes, right? All right. So Canada won the Hong Kong money laundering that came in. A record flight of capital, $43.6 billion from Hong Kong to Canada as China cracks down. So this is when Canada was pleading to the Chinese government because the Canadians already took the money out of China when they were getting this back in, look at this, 2016, bringing the money off of mainland China, play the Hong Kong card, get the Hong Kongese to bring in billions of dollars, and during a pandemic, look at this unrest first began in 2019. This is what they caught, $43.6 billion. And then Canada, it starts talks with investment agreement with Taiwan to bring in the billionaires and millionaires from Taiwan into Canada and placing their money safely here to grow our country's economy off of fakeness, right? So there it is right there. So there it is. Money laundering's been happening for many years. There it is. Toronto needs more money laundering. So basically, my opinion, things are really taking a fast turn. Toronto needs more Chinese money to keep it going, and they did. Toronto housing was finally seeing a correction 4 years ago, but they got the money in that they secured that they needed. We're getting destroyed by money laundering. Foreign money. People are looking to park their money in real estate 5 years ago. We are getting destroyed. Westpac, this is a bank in Australia, money laundering breaches. 23 million money laundering breaches. That's why Australia's been trying to crack down on money laundering. Look at that. Canada needs more money laundering. So a majority of this is in America. It's a little bit different. They were hit with the money laundering in the blue states, and then that money, or the impoverishment that a lot of the middle class felt, and their homes went to $2 million, those people are now leaving, creating Amerifornia. So I want to get myself straight. Yes, there's money laundering happening in Florida, Texas, coming in from China, mainland China, Hong Kong. Yes, but it's not the major source. The major source are the people going from the mass exodusing the blue states to go into the red states with the money they're making off their homes, impoverishing people in Atlanta, Dallas, Fort Worth, all those places we're showing there, Florida, wherever. And that's going to continue happening. So, guys, don't forget to check out, hopefully a bigger channel could take this and run with it, like I usually say on my videos, and discuss this situation, because it's getting so bad, and it's getting worse. And I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Oh, but Mike, BlackRock or Blackstone, they're buying up homes everywhere. Yeah, who's Blackstone? Look into it. China. They're all have ties to China. And America should worry, because we are bringing in more and more people of communist origin into Canada. We're flooding them in. Want proof? So if I'm living in America, I'd be more worried about Canada than any country in the world. 69 million people in China and Hong Kong look to Canada for a new start. So how is this even possible? Well, they're looking at replacing the local Canadian proper. And if I was America, I'd be more worried about Canada than any other country in the world. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Love you guys very much. God bless. Share this video if you like. Let people know that there are people that have been talking about this for many years. It's playing on its own. Look, it's going to get worse. It'll stay about the same. No, it's not. God bless. I have spoken.